Hello beautiful shrimp people, welcome back to Mark Shrimp Tanks. In today's video I'm going to give you a full room tour, so let's go. Now is the time for you to get your leaves, right? So you want to get outside, collect your leaves. It is fall in most of Northern Europe, right? So you want to go out, you want to collect your leaves. These are some oak leaves that I've collected. If you don't want to collect leaves, guys, what I suggest you do is buy yourself a banana plant. You get these at most places that sell plants, and simply make sure you repot it with something like perlite like this and compost, roughly about 50-50, and just make sure that you water it every week or something like that, right? So the way I can tell, guys, if I need to water my lovely gorgeous banana plant is by lifting it. But you also get a gauge that tells you if you have enough water. But if you lift it like this, if it's reasonably light, then it's a good indicator that your plant needs to be watered. This one needs water, right? So what I do is I get in here and I just cut off all the old banana leaves that have fallen down like this, and you can stick these into your tank, right? So banana leaves are actually pretty good for a shrimp tank. So I've just cut these ones off here, off this plant right now, and they're ready to go, right? But as I said, if you want to go out in the fall and collect your leaves, now would be a good time also. And by the way, guys, top tip here from someone that has an incredibly sore back, and that is get yourself a litter picker if you're going to collect your own leaves, because it will save you hurting your back a lot. Alright, let's get on with the room tour. Let's start over here somewhere. Black fancy tigers. This is a breeder tank, so you're only going to see bigger shrimp in here. Let me see, can I angle the camera down just a wee bit? Yeah, there you go. You're only going to see big shrimp in here and absolutely tiny babies right now, because I've actually moved a lot of the young out of this tank into the growout tank, which is next door. I do apologise for the glare, but this is the growout tank for this, right? And from here I select which ones will go back into the breeding tank and which ones will go to cull tank or possibly for sale. Right, so let's go along to the next one. This is a growout tank for my little boa colony that I have going underneath, right? And these ones will have to be selected. You can see here. By the way, guys, as well, I've made sure that when I'm doing my videos from now on, right, I'm not actually going to feed the tanks. I don't want to get into the habit of feeding tanks just for views, because what happens is you tend to overfeed the tank, and that can be kind of detrimental to the shrimp, right? So you're not going to see that on my videos anymore. If the food's in the water when I feed the shrimp, it just happens to be in, and I'm not going to do it for the camera, but it's good to show you what the shrimp naturally look like anyway, right? So let's get back over here. Alright, so this is a black crystal tank here. You can see lots of little babies and stuff. This, guys, is an experimental tank, and it is experimental because I've removed a lot of the plants and we want to see if we can get the walls green, and they are actually starting to go green already. And all I've done with this, guys, is I've slowed down the filtration. The walls are going really green here, you see it? So this is a very old tank. This one was from my old house. It has akadama soil. Here the pH is roughly about 6, so it's still good for breeding shrimp. There's very, very minimal shrimp in this because I wanted it to be just about to see if we can get the walls green, which it looks like it's going to do. And if you're wondering how this is actually working, well, I have two other tanks that I've actually set it up with before and done exactly the same thing, and I think I'll show you those tanks right now, because proof is in the pudding, as they always say. Super crystal red shrimp tank, and you can see, right, the walls are green. Loads and loads of shrimp and the walls are green, but look at the back here, guys. What do you see? Oh, way at the back. I wonder if I could zoom in. But you can see here, this is what I'm looking at here. It's actually the filter, right? So this tank only has one filter, and I think this might be a good indicator of why the walls go green, because there's less nutrient exporting by the filter, and then the green walls or the algae biofilm will uptake it and grow more. Right, so there's one tank that I'm trying it with. You can see here, walls are green. Let's just quickly skip over to my crystal red shrimp tank here, and it is the same. It's much harder to see on this black panel at the back because that's black painted glass. The paint is actually on the back of the glass. But you can see on this side here, you see this is what we're looking for, is this greenness on the wall. Right, so you can see See what I mean, what I'm doing here? Greenness on the wall. This tank is also very old and it has a single filter. And note guys, that the filter here is actually running very, very slow. So I want to see if there's a correlation between having a tank that is slow filtered and green walls compared to this as an example. Look. So this is a lot of filtration, zero green walls. There is a little bit of biofilm, but there's really not that much. And there's a lot of shrimp in this tank as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens, right? So let's actually talk about this tank here first. This is my golden tank, and guys, I just love some of these shrimp in here. Look at these little filters. They actually look properly golden. But look at that hornwort, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? So we looked at the crystals there for a second. Loads and loads of shrimp in this tank. And this one here is basically empty, but this was a holding tank for some shrimp that I got, and when I did get them, they actually had babies in the tank. So what we're waiting for here is for these guys just to get a little bit bigger so we can move them out. You probably can just make out where they are. This camera lens wants to move up around all itself all the time, you see them? So there's baby shrimp in here all over the place. I'm just waiting for them to grow a little bit bigger. Alright, this is one of the boa tanks that we have, and yeah, it is doing really, really well. I've actually moved probably about 30-40 shrimp out of this tank already, up to the growout tank above that we just looked at. And from there on in, guys, we're going to start to grade, right? But that's for a future video. So this is also another boa galaxy type tank here, and the shrimp are doing wonderfully good. You can see just how active they are. They have babies on the substrate as well, which is important. Let's look at this tank here. Loads of shrimp. They have a lot of babies, as you can see, on the gravel too. And yeah, this tank is doing really, really well. So here is my blue boltus tank. It could be doing better, but I've been told I need to sit on my hands just a little bit longer because the shrimp look like they're in really, really good condition. You see them? They are very, very blue, which means that the water is good for them. Yeah, I can see, when I look in the moss at the back, I can see babies and stuff. So yeah, we just have to be a little bit more patient. But this is what I was talking about, guys. When you collect your own leaf litter and stuff, the shrimp will actually munch this away to nothing. And the reason it's good in a shrimp tank is it just gives the shrimp an extra place to graze on. Right, let's be very clear about this as well. If you have an active soil like this, leaves are not 100% necessary, but I do believe they help a little bit. Look at that hornwort, how green it is. Look at all the baby shrimp everywhere. This tank is probably about 200 and something litres, and it's just absolutely full of shrimp. All sizes, very, very active. Isn't that gorgeous? Hornwort is so nice when it starts to grow like this. Loads of moss in the bark, and yeah, that is awesome. Right guys, let's look at my little boa tank here. Red boas. They're doing really, really good as well. There's some red boas in here. They're kind of a mix of red boa and red galaxies. Fish bones. So yeah, I think we should maybe start calling shrimp the right names. So you're talking all these shrimp, that most of them that I have, right, the ones that have boa and galaxy names, galaxy fish bones, the first part is galaxy. So you have galaxy boa, galaxy fish bones, and so on, right? So this tank had a lot of babies and they have moved down below, and again we have new babies all over the substrate here, which is good, right? So what we're doing here is working. You have to have a nice growout tank and a breeder tank, and then the young just start to grow even more, and then it's a little bit easier to grade, right? So here, for example, we have a little, looks like a little galaxy fishbone. It has a little fishbone on the bark. Galaxy fishbone, galaxy fishbone, galaxy fishbone. The one at the back on this side over here looks like a galaxy boa, possibly a galaxy boa, galaxy fishbone. Can't tell with these ones. This one has a really full cape on the back, so this might be a little red boa as well. But yeah, that's how it works. And the one up there, dead center, is almost a full cape with little red bits and stuff in it. Isn't that cool? You see it? You see it up here? Isn't that awesome? Let's have a quick look over here. Now this tank is very, very small. It's not really used for much breeding. But yeah guys, I actually really like this tank just because it looks so nice. There's actually some Rilly in here, Cryptocornia here. We've got some Poseidons, some Hornwort, duckweed like usual. Alright guys, let's have a look at my cherry shrimp tank here. And you'll see that the moss has almost died off to nothing. But look at the shrimp, look at them, look at them. How active they are. Now I'm not sure if the shrimp have actually eaten all the Java moss, because that is what it looks like. Because there's so many of them. Maybe I wasn't feeding them enough. So I stuck in this filter here just so we can try and clean up a lot of this mulm, because there was loads of it. You see it all in here? There was loads of it everywhere in the back from the Java moss dying off. But the shrimp in here don't seem to mind. There's loads and loads of babies everywhere. This is my bigger mixed Neocaridina tank here. We have our lovely bristlenose plecos. I'm trying to get a little bit close with them actually, you know, bolting away, because that's what they do. There's a little bristlenose pleco there, the biggest bristlenose pleco there. Tons and tons of shrimp. I fed these this morning, that's why they're all in this one spot. But yeah, this tank is very, very clean. Hornwort is growing really, really well. We have our hob in the back here. Let's see if we can see any of the fan shrimp. There's one. Where's my finger? There, you see it? One. So these tanks are just growing out tanks for different things. Our little tub here with our endlers and whatnot in here. Looking good. So this tank, people often say to me, Mark, you should maintain this tank a little bit more, but guys, it is actually maintained a lot. The only reason it looks like this is because all of my plant matter go in here, and yeah, these crayfish, like that one right there, they eat the stuff, right? So I have to clean the filtration in this every week. Let me show you, just to let you see that it is actually quite a powerful airflow going through the sponge filter in the middle. And yeah, these crayfish, they munch through everything in there. Now, if you have a keen eye, you can see there's a big crayfish right there, you see it? Let's go over to my, probably the most beautiful tank in the shrimp room. This one. And I'm saying that, guys, because it's just the way it looks is just awesome. All the moss each side, all full baby shrimp. Moss at the back, double sponge filters, but you can't see them. Cryptocornia Nuri pink. It's meant to be, but it's never been pink with me. I can see where it might be pink eventually, but these shrimp are having babies after babies in here. But I can see, look at the size of that little fella. I can see that I need to do some culling. Remember, guys, I don't kill my shrimp. All my culls, they actually go back into that big cull tank you saw before, right? So my shrimp have an awesomely good life. Let's go to the Opae Ula over here. Whoa! And they're going berserk as well. So I put a leaf in here earlier on, right? So if you didn't know, these come from alkaline pools in Hawaii, and it's basically brackish water, and there's like rainwater comes in from the top, and there is salt water coming in from like splashing waves and through the ground and stuff into these little pools as well. And the pools are on land, obviously, so you get everything that's blown in, like bits of wood, dead animals, leaves, anything like that goes in here, and these guys scavenge it off. Right, so this is just a bit coral in the middle, cheatomorph algae at the back. I'm not still sure if that is cheatomorph or if it's more like string algae. It looks like it's very skinny cheatomorph, if I'm very honest. We've got some seashells in here as well, and all the little white dots in here are nerite snail eggs, but yeah, I've never seen them actually reproduce. And we have Malaysian trumpet snails all over the place. Who would have thought, eh? Let's have a look at the big tank for the last tank in the room. This is my bigger Opae Ula tank. They're also going berserk. And I love it how green this algae is on all the rocks, because I wanted this tank to kind of look like a rock pool. And yeah, they are just going berserk. Look at them. I wonder if we can see from the side. Maybe not. Lots of coral in here. They're like just always breeding in this tank. You see all the little young ones floating about here. And yeah, I thought actually on that way that we talked about before, where things fall into these rock pools, I thought I'd put a little bit of wood, because you will often get wood going into rock pools. So yeah, this algae that was on the bottom here, this whole front layer in the front, has just picked itself up and floated to the surface. So it's like a mat of algae at the top now. You see it looks kind of cool. There's like, I don't know, there's probably close to 1,000 shrimp in this tank. This tank is something like 250 litres. Let's have a little stand back so you can see it in full. So there you have it, guys. There is my room tour for October. If you've enjoyed today's video, then please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Happy shrimp keeping.